Topic Thunder. It's Topic Thunder. Just acknowledge your knowledge with no scholarships. It's Topic Thunder. It's Topic Thunder. Breaking everything down, tech to politics. It's Topic Thunder. It's Topic Thunder. We don't tell you what you want, we just give you what you need. It's Topic Thunder. It's Topic Thunder. News, brews, and views from these Chi-Town streets. Topic Thunder.
You heard the man. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Topic Thunder, the little internet saloon that we occasionally, not occasionally, we always ask you to kind of belly up to the bar and as we pour some ideas out. And this is, like the man said, Topic Thunder. That is, They Call Me Biz. That is his stage name. They Call Me Biz, B-I-Z. Check him out if you like the intro. He's and
you could typically find him right
in the comments section, which we've both figured out the correct way to point to the world's most dangerous chat room. That's you, and the show is largely steered by you, the people. So there he is. Not only is he a good man, but he's an entrepreneur. He also has a clothing line. That's where you occasionally see me wearing the shiesty. Getshiesty.com. Check that stuff out too. So major love to Biz right off the top of the show. And welcome in everybody else. We see some regulars coming in. Aunt Chris and Courtney are already in the world's most dangerous chat zone, which then like forms this bubble as the show grows. And then eventually when that bubble is fully solid, like the cranium of like say a 16-year-old human being, that becomes the Thunderdome, ladies and gentlemen, and that hosts the lightning round, which is by far the most popular segment on the show, and hands down, and still not a peep from Pops about it.
No,
so
even though we know for a fact now has participated in.
He's voted by proxy.
Yes.
So hey, ladies and gentlemen. We like to kick it off the internet saloon, of course, with the drink. We've done this one before, so nothing special, nothing fancy here tonight. Just it's a good Monday, and we're feeling good Monday. So this is just a gluten-free Kirkland's brand, of course, the Costco staple Kirkland's brand grapefruit hard seltzer. I also have another Costco product in the form of a soft, I guess, seltzer.
What's the difference?
This one, no booze.
Oh, gotcha. So very similar to me in my black cherry.
All right. See, this is just prevalent everywhere, whether you're in Illinois and Chicago and Texas. Oh, and by the way, folks, my name is Brooks, and then that's Ben, just to kind of get those things out of the way.
If you're not familiar.
If you haven't been to the live to the show, and but thanks for signing on if you haven't. And if you are every episode, please smash that like button for us. It really helps.
Yeah,
and,
like, share, yes, subscribe, all that good stuff. Please.
Tell your people. As we head into the world's most creatively named segment called Headlines, where we discuss the headlines, and we've got more than a few to bandy about. But we engineered today's show a little more of like a lighter kind of spray to all more interesting fields as to a hardcore hitting news, because I think we can get so much of that. So we want to bring you some different stuff, and I got some stuff for you today. Yes, sirs, ma'ams, she's, he's, theys, theirs. Let's go. Have you seen this incident in Russia, Ben?
In where?
In Russia, where we're gonna kick it off right off the bat, ladies and gentlemen. For Moscow, the AP moving quickly to assign blame. Russia on Monday declared Ukrainian intelligence responsible for the brazen car bombing that killed the daughter of a leading right-wing Russian political thinker over the weekend. Ukraine denied involvement. This is kind of nuts. Daria Dugina, 29-year-old commentator with a nationalist Russian TV channel, State TV, died when a remotely controlled explosive device planted in her SUV blew up on Saturday night as she was driving on the outskirts of Moscow, ripping the vehicle apart and killing her on the spot, authorities says. Her father, Alexander Dugin, a philosopher, writer, political theorist, who ardently supports Russian President Vladimir Putin's decision to send troops into Ukraine, was widely believed to be intended target. Russian media quoted witnesses as saying the SUV belonged to Dugin and that he decided at the last minute to travel in another vehicle.
Whoa.
Russia's Federal Security Service, their pseudo FBI, if you will, the main equivalent, the main successor to the KGB, said Dugina's killing was prepared and perpetrated by the Ukrainian Special Services. The FSB said Ukrainian citizen Natalia Vovik carried out the killing and then fled to Estonia. In Estonia, the prosecutor general's office said in a statement carried out by the Baltic news services that it had not received any requests or inquiries from the Russian authorities on this topic. And if you thought that she was the one who did it, wouldn't you go, hey, neighbor Estonia, we think that somebody that just crossed your border killed somebody of political interest in our capital. Could we get some information on them?
This is a tough one, man, because who knows what the truth is here? The truth is probably not this initial story, right? I mean, the truth is very rarely when it comes to these odd Russian deaths. It very rarely is the story that first comes out.
Not only do I give you the first pitch fastball wink, I'm giving it a second pitch fastball wink, because, ladies and gentlemen, shortly after this occurred was a statement, a very partisan statement, and I had to verify this because I read this in a source and I was like, okay, wait, all right, they better be referencing something like a direct story, like getting direct quotes. And this led me to Pravda, the Ukrainian version of Pravda. We've quoted and done this website many times, and it has like the European vibe of not Newsweek per se, not USA Today, but like decent, like continental, I guess, regional newspaper. But
okay,
there is now this. Let me just quote Ilya Ponomarev, a former member of the State Duma of the Russian Federation, their parliament, said that the so-called National Republican Army has claimed responsibility for the murder of Daria Dugina, the daughter of Putin's ideologue Alexander Dugin. Ponomarev, on air on a Ukrainian morning show, I guess it's his opposition TV channel, and in commentary for Ukrainska Pravda. The details. Ponomarev said that Daria Dugina had called for the murder of Ukrainians and was one of the voices inciting violence and calling for murders in the occupied territories of Ukraine. Amongst other things, she had offered a justification for the killing of Ukrainian prisoners of war in Olevinka prison camp. This is a quote from Ponomarev.
Ponomarev is the dead girl.
Ponomarev is the dude now. Basically, let's let it play out. But he's the dude.
I'm sorry. I'm having trouble following here.
So Dugina was the daughter of this Russian ideologue, and a lot of the press, mainstream press, if you hear this story, they're calling this guy Putin's brain, Putin's ideologue. This guy had a lot to do with influencing Putin's idea of kind of like a one Russia thing. All right, so there was it.
I'm sorry. The name Darya got me mixed up there. That's a man.
Darya.
That's the dad.
That is not. Alexander's the dad.
Okay, so who's
Darya?
Who's
Darya is the daughter.
Okay, so Darya had called for the murder of Ukrainians.
Oh yes, actually, there's
so she may have been the target. So the original story may not be true. She may have been the target because she was outspoken as well.
So all right, I guess I got right.
I guess I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I got trying to make it all make sense.
But I'm also like I'm because I'm so intrigued by the international political theater and stage that I'm like just jumping in, assuming like everybody's right. Like no. Let me backtrack a little bit, I guess. So we've just crossed the 6-month barrier for the Ukrainian special operation, right? The 3-day war, now a war that is now 6 months long, right?
Right. Yep.
And there has been really no response from the internal anti-Putin movement. Okay. As far as we know, right?
Okay.
There have been several.
That message is not getting out.
And there have been several very, very interesting explosions at factories, ammunition factories, like parts factories inside of Russia that have been on the news but they happen at such point that like in a weekly show, it's impossible. Like, yeah, let's cover this little factory, blah, 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 right? So there's been little acts of basically sabotage inside Russia, right?
Okay.
It's not Ukrainians launching missiles because it's far too inland, right? So, okay, of course, there are mistakes made, Russians, blah, blah, blah. It's okay, everything's under control. So Russia sweeps it under the rug, right? So here you have the guy that basically guided Putin's idea of a colonial Russia,
Okay.
right? That back to its roots, that Russia at its heart is a colonizer, and it needs to reconquer its lands, right? So the ideologue behind it and gives Putin the justification, at least in a philosophical way, all he needed to go like, yep, that was it. So he kind of guided it. I guess he was primarily responsible for what happened in Crimea. There's a lot of like shifting that it was his idea to annex it, rush in. Pun
So
not
he's the
intended.
Steve Bannon to Putin, for
Kinda,
lack of a
sort
better, for as a direct comparison as possible. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yes, he's kind of that idea, like feeding him
Stephen
ideas.
Miller, Steve Bannon, kind of
shadow informer kind of. Yes, exactly.
Right.
Okay, so without, I guess, into too much detail. So this is his daughter, right? It's this dude's daughter.
Now the story is the dude was supposed to be driving the car, but made a decision at the last minute to switch.
Yes.
That's the part that could be up for debate, because you could also, based on what we're reading here and what you just read, it's very possible that the daughter could have been the target as well, and they're just making it out to be, oh no, they were going after the dad to make it maybe more of a story. I don't know.
Well, she could very well have been a target too, because she was posting selfies in various parts of Ukraine shortly after like that Azov the steel mill that they fought so hard over. She, like, right afterwards, she was posting pictures like she was there. She was basically given a sweet spot on Russian state TV, being a talking head, and she looks glamorous, but she's wearing fatigues and taking there's clearly battle damage everywhere. So hey, Angelo, thank you. Right, it's very interesting, especially when I'm about to introduce into evidence here, again, from this Pravda website. This is a quote from this gentleman, Ponomarev, who has announced the National Russian Army, right? This is a quote from him. This act, the murder of this woman, like many other partisan acts carried out on Russian territory over the last few months, was carried out by the National Republican Army. We have established contact with NRA fighters through our Rosa Partisan Telegram channel, which covers the rising tide of resistance in Russia. Today, the NRA fighters authorized me to read their manifesto. And let me tell you, it's quite a manifesto.
I bet. Most manifestos are very interesting because they're written by madmen.
But there's a nice quote that, like, okay, so who are these people, right? We are Russian activists, military personnel, and politicians, currently also partisans and fighters of the National Republican Army. We are outlawing the warmongers, thieves, and oppressors of the people of Russia. And it's a thing now.
This is the rising up of what was a rather quiet dissenting public in Russia. Is what this is. This has been the first shot across the bow, so to speak, of this National Republican Army, which are basically the rebels in Russia.
The underground, right? The underground.
Interesting. This would, I mean, so maybe
right? It's an ironic name.
Yeah,
it's
right?
the NRA is a very ironic name, right? But maybe done tongue in cheek if you know where the current NRA has been getting a lot of its money from.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, for sure. Man, this is fascinating because it never occurred to me until you mentioned it. But yeah, we haven't really heard from the opposition. And you had to imagine there was an opposition in Russia. And this is the type of thing, if you really want to make a huge statement, this is the type of thing that you do. And so, maybe we can take this at its face value, because the people that are perpetrating it are claiming it, right? Am I understanding that correct? Is that this NRA is saying it was us? We're taking credit for this, and this is, don't mistake this. This is us doing this, right? Am I understanding that part correctly?
This is from the manifesto. The National Republican Army is urging all Russian citizens to join its ranks and rise the white, blue, and white flag of the new Russia instead of the tricolor disgraced by Putin's government, literally taking the red out of their flag. We will protect everyone who responds to our call. It is also stated that anyone who undertakes the course of actions that is laid out all the way up to regime change will be exempt from the liability specified by the usurper's law. They literally declare Putin a usurper, and that he unleashed a, quote, fratricidal war between Slavic people and sent Russian soldiers to a certain and senseless death. We will overthrow and destroy Putin. We declare all Russian government officials and regional administration officials to be accomplices to the usurper. We will kill every one of them who fails to resign. This is from the inside.
Be interesting to see where this goes. This is another one of those stories that you definitely want. We're definitely going to be keeping our finger on the pulse of this story, because this could be huge. I mean, a Russian civil war. You can't bother with Ukraine and all kinds of colonization if you have an uprising in your own country you've got to worry about.
Which also explains why he kind of sent the B team over to Ukraine, or at least one of the reasons. It was always kind of weird. Like, why didn't this kind of should have been a little bit quicker,
easy, right? Yes, it should have been a little bit easier to get done. Yeah.
But you sent the B team with like C team equipment, and what were you waiting? Were you holding back your best of the best? Assuming like this wasn't, but I'd assume it's not, because that would be just embarrassing for any sort of world power to put that on display. Like you should have sat down, son. You just got knocked out by talking shit, right? Maybe it's because they need to keep their own people in line, and he's just waiting for that call. And this would have been it. Assassination of what you would have to consider a major political target, right?
Yeah, this would be. I don't know if Ivanka. That's a little too close because it's not Putin's daughter, but someone in that sort of sphere. Jordan Peterson's daughter.
It would be like, because you never really hear a lot about. You have to go digging for like the personal, like contacts for like or informants or advisors for the president. You could get the official cabinet members. I guess if this guy if he was a pseudo cabinet member, it would have been equivalent to that. The Secretary of State's daughter being assassinated, remote controlled bomb.
That's the crazy part. That's the burying the lead there. It was by remote control bomb. Like that's where we're headed with this thing.
That's the level of tech they have.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's that type of stuff that you hear happening in the Middle East, and in like Israel and in Palestine area, those types of things. That seems like that's what's going to start happening in Russia here real soon.
And then way at the end of the story, you don't even have to look for it because it's really in the fine print. They said that the actual cause of death was that she fell out of a window.
Right. Yes. She fell out of a window, then got in her car, and the car exploded.
It ripped in half. Hey, Ben, let me ask you a weird question. Do you think spiders sleep?
I've never pondered the question before right this very second, but I would imagine like anything else, yeah, they have to sleep, right?
Studies suggest that they may snooze like humans. And I thought there's probably, if you're already scared of spiders, you don't need any more reasons, or probably didn't think there were any more reasons to be scared of spiders. And with Halloween coming up, why not
Right.
Spiders dream.
What?
They sleep. It's a question scientists, I kept scientists awake at night. Do spiders sleep? Daniela Rossler and her colleagues trained cameras on baby jumping spiders at night to find out. The footage showed patterns that looked like a lot of sleep cycles. The spiders' leg twitched and parts of their eyes flickered. The researchers described the pattern as a REM-like sleep state. In humans, REM, rapid eye movement, is an active phase of sleep when the parts of the brain light up with activity and is closely linked with dreaming.
Is that like, I imagine that's the humans part of when dogs are like barking in their sleep.
And then,
Is it
yeah,
like that?
yeah, that's exactly what it is. They're having, and it's weird too because they're not. That's not always like a bad thing. They might be yelping, but they could be, chasing after some gazelle somewhere on the plains of the Serengeti. I don't know.
Right. Right.
But like apparently spiders of all things also enter REM sleep, therefore justifying the idea that they actually dream.
Interesting.
Now, things like spiders are usually in other people's nightmares. So this begs the question.
Whenever I think of a spider and sleep, I think about the and I don't know if it's like one of those wives' tales, but I always remembered like the thing where you eat spiders in your sleep and you don't know it. It's some weird number. It's like every human eats like 25 spiders in their lifetime or some crazy shit. I don't even know if that's true, but I've always had that in the back of my head. Like if you sleep, you've definitely if you sleep with your mouth open, you've definitely swallowed a spider at some point. Just think about that. Let that ruminate in your brain for a minute.
Right now, as we speak, there's probably millions of organisms on your face, just kind of like eating dead skin cells and basking in your face oils, just like rolling around, all weird.
I don't want to think about that.
All right. Well, okay. Well, this story. Well, let me wipe your palate clean with this nonsense, Ben. Over the last, I don't know, when's the first time you heard the name George Soros?
Oh man, it's been a few years now. It was, mostly during the 2016 election that he was the man that was funding. Oh, also, he was a big name in funding Antifa back during the protests in the summer of COVID.
So it's safe to say, unless you were dialed into large investment superstars, I guess let's call him, right? Then prior to let's just give 2 years prior to 2014, you probably never heard the name George Soros.
Probably not,
right? But it's a huge name that a lot of right wingers like to throw out that influences the election. Some billionaire guy who happens to be Jewish just throwing money out there and influencing elections all the way up to the Supreme Court. How dare he? This is everything that's wrong with politics and our government. And that's why it all needed to burn. Enter salon.com with a fantastic piece. Long form, so we're not going to go all the way into it. But this has ties into a group of people we've talked about on this show before, and it's called the Federalist Society.
My boy Sheldon Whitehouse has been big in exposing the Federalist Society. Hey, Red
Pac in the house. This is great. This is awesome. Thank you for joining the show.
Early 2010. So that's about right. That like you said, about 2014, 2013, 14, somewhere in there.
Right. Yeah. Right in that range. Right. And it's Boogeyman, right? So it is that like that guy that's running everything. But here we are, and we just found out that one dude who actually lives in Chicago, and it will go down as one of the great shames of this fine city by the lake. His name, I think, is Bari Syed. And he's 90, and he came from the electronics manufacturing area where he made untold sums of money, enough to be able to, at one time, one donation, give $1.6 billion with a B, $1.6 billion to one particular organization, and he did it through some of those weird shady channels where you filter money through one company and then you write it off as a tax credit as you close that company and another company buys it up. But he was allowed to give $1.6 billion to a gentleman who actually I have a dossier. We're going to talk about a guy named Leonard A. Leo relatively soon.
Yes. There's some you'll have to include some Sheldon Whitehouse. That guy, Leonard Leo, that's another big name. That guy, Sheldon Whitehouse, has been yelling that guy's name on the floor of Congress since 2016 at least.
So this guy, Leonard Leo, is basically the co-chair, the de facto leader of the Federalist Society, who had a hand in forcing through the last 3 Supreme Court judges and had a direct hand in picking Mike Pence and also influencing the decision to have Donald Trump be the figurehead, right? So Mr. Leo gladly accepted $1.6 billion worth of cash and then began, where is the quote? Because it's awesome. The windfall, $1.6 billion, as it will help cement Mr. Leo's status as kingmaker in conservative big money politics. This was reported in the Times article published on the 22nd. Quote, it could give conservatives an advantage in a type of difficult to trace spending that shapes elections and political fights. The cash infusion was arranged through an unusual series of transactions that appear to have avoided tax liabilities.
Yep.
It originated with Mr. Syed, a longtime conservative donor who made a fortune as the chairman and chief executive of an electrical device manufacturing company in Chicago, now known as Trip Light. Avoid that company, I guess, if you like to put your money where your mouth is. Reporters added the nonprofit called the Marble Freedom Trust. That's like word salad, right? You know, they played a game of Scrabble or something like that and decided like that was going to be it, right?
They just pulled 3. They put a bunch of words in a hat and they just picked 3 words. It could have easily been Trust Marble Freedom or Freedom Marble Trust.
Dog TV person, just for fun.
Right, yeah.
They then received all of the proceeds from the sale. So the trust received all of the proceeds from the sale of this fictitious company in a transaction that appears to have been structured to allow the nonprofit group and Mr. Syed to avoid paying taxes on the proceeds.
What a surprise.
What we just described is money laundering. Legal, probably in the way that there are so many loopholes in the current tax code, but that's money laundering when you avoid paying taxes on the sale of, let's just start a company right there.
Yeah. I'm going to throw you a curveball here real quick. And this is kind of breaking the fourth wall on the air because I found a 4-minute and 44-second video of Sheldon Whitehouse talking about the Federalist Society. My question to you is that too much? Is that too long to play a 4-minute video, do you think?
Why don't we hold off, because let's make that a big, and then we'll definitely get more of that stuff in.
We'll tag team on a big. We haven't done that.
We haven't done that. So like we're going to expose, Ben, this is former governor of Minnesota, Jesse the Body Ventura. We're going to ask questions, Ben. Who are they? We're going to get to the bottom of things. We're going to rent a van, Ben, and we're going to ask questions.
We're going to have a show on Sci-Fi where we talk about conspiracies.
And if they don't answer, we're going to put them in a camel clutch. Speaking of kind of being in a camel clutch, have you seen what's been going on in the Yankees?
No, I don't even know. The Yankees? The Yankees have been losing a lot of basketball.
Oh, man. The way the Yankees have been bleeding out losses, the Yangtze River in China doesn't have any water to bleed.
Hey-o.
Pew, pew.
Who knew that Joey Gallo meant so much to that team?
Right. Had nothing to do with oh man, I forget. I can't talk sports anymore.
Sorry, I totally caught you with a curveball.
Yeah, and I swung and missed. But the third biggest oh yeah, right. It does. It kind of gets to the voice. It's like smoking 6 cigars at the same time. Uh, there's a drought in the third largest river in the world.
Oh, is that about? Wait, is that? Wait, hold on.
No,
Is that it?
And
We're not even there yet. That
no,
isn't even it yet.
This isn't even
Shit.
it. We're not even at the Ellie
fuck.
yet. This is not
God damn it. Courtney thought that the fucking spider thing might be the ELE this week.
No,
nope.
This is
it's like a whole episode full of this shit.
So, Ben, you know damn well, and what I'm about to tell you is nothing new to you. But this is what we call in a former lifetime a false pin.
Yes.
Gonna kick out this one. The kick out is just after 2, not before 2. That first one, the bat story. I'm sorry, the spider story was a kick out like right before 2, right?
Yeah.
This one's like shortly after 2. We're working our way towards that 2 and 3/4, right? Doing it. So the third largest river in the world is drying up in China, and it's probably not getting as much attention as it probably should. But let's face it, the Colorado River is drying up in southwestern United States, and that's probably also not getting the attention it also deserves. But the Colorado River doesn't rank as the third largest. I'm not even sure where it is in the top 10 right now. But if you could just, I think, scroll down one more picture to get a real idea where the water line should be. Yeah. That's it right there. So if you see where there's people there, there are people there on there's a tree line. You can see where there's like a path and maybe like a little, but then there's a water line, and that's a major waterway for transportation, for products being delivered.
This right here is the water line where there's like a little bit discoloration.
And maybe all the way up, because you can kind of see the path, but I think those little around.
Yeah, I think this is going to be like a barrier between the pathway and the wall. Yeah, that makes sense.
And they're saying that it's going to mess up hydropower, which I thought that's a weird take on a horrible tragedy, a horrible ecologic tragedy.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
but here's a startling revelation just to how big not only this river is, but how big China is. The Yangtze is the world's third largest river, providing drinking water to more than 400 million Chinese people, and is the most vital waterway to China's economy.
It's also crucial to the global supply chain. Oh, good.
The United States does not have 400 million people in it as far as the last census goes. We're up there. We're getting close. But this is 400 million people's drinking water. All our country minus probably 30 or 40 million people.
Right. Not having drinking water sooner than later.
They're like trying to seed their clouds. They're doing crazy shit like shooting weird pellets into the cloud to help induce rain. This is a problem, and it's a
problem everywhere, man. We just got down here in our neck of the woods. It was pretty dry for a long time, and then in the last 4 days we've gotten a shit ton of rain. Dallas is got an oddly ridiculous amount of rain. Yeah. And so, because that's what we do here in Texas. Now, when we have natural disasters in Texas, they do everything big in Texas, including the natural disasters. Because it's been very dry here for a while, as a matter of fact.
And then so everything dries up. Nothing has moisture in it. Here comes some rain. The ground can't absorb the water fast enough, and that's when you have that torrential flooding. And I buckle up, right? Because it's
and also here in Texas, whoever mapped out these towns and roadways and stuff and the drainage systems, they were clearly morons. At least here in Lubbock, and from what I can venture in everywhere in Texas, for some reason, the people that designed the roadways and drainage in Texas they decided that having the water drain into the middle of the intersections was the best idea. Because that's where all the water always collects. No, all the water collects in the intersection at traffic stops. It's incredible. And it gets deep as fuck. And it is so like when it rains here, the system can't, the drainage system can't keep up. So it gets deep really quick. And then 10 minutes after it's done raining, it's all gone.
I mean, that's good drainage rate.
Not when it's raining, because it's fucking, it's up to your windows when it's fucking raining.
Oh, that's not good.
It's crazy.
No. You shouldn't. No, you shouldn't have that. Let's make it a little. Let's make another weird, odd turn that I don't have a precise segue for. But holy smokes, this one's a good story. And yeah, right. Yeah, no, it's not dangerous at all to angle the road inward like that to drain out. Why not drain out? I'm so baffled by the lack of engineering prowess. Like I'm impressed that it drains quickly, because Lord knows, living in Chicago, if your block drains, like, good luck. Like, you better have some good Samaritan neighbors, or you might be a good Samaritan yourself to go out there with a rake or something like that and just kind of clear the. But like, yeah, you're on your own, kid.
You're on your own.
That's just the way that goes. But very interesting.
Speaking of on your own,
speaking of on your own, there's a pastor that apologized after calling congregation, quote, poor, broke, and busted for not having bought him a luxury watch.
Oh, yeah, this is good. I love these guys.
This is a name for all times, Ben.
It really is. Look at that.
Pastor Carlton Funderburk apologized for his inexcusable remarks to the congregation of his Kansas City church after a clip of his complaints went viral. The pastor, there's a video. Don't play the video just yet. Let me read the story, because I want this to build. A pastor has apologized after a video of him calling his congregation poor, broke, and busted and disgusted for not buying him a luxury Movado watch caused outrage on social media. Pastor Carlton Funderburk posted a video apology on Facebook Tuesday after a clip shared on TikTok by the digital media company, the Kansas City Defender. We probably really like those people, showed Funderburk complaining to his congregation. This is a quote. I think the video is his response to.
Yes, I believe so. It's his official statement.
So I want to read, because I don't know. Just let's let this build about what this guy looks like and what it ever sounds like. Because yes.
Yeah.
And I wonder why you give anything to a person like this. Here's the quote. Though there is context behind the content of the clip, no context will suffice to explain the hurt and anguish caused by my words, he said. I've spoken to those I am accountable to and have received a correction and instruction. I have also privately apologized to our church, who has extended their love and support to me. Why would you, I don't know, have to make such overreaching, personal and public apology? It's because you said this. You see, that's how I know you're still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted, because of how you've been honoring me, he told them. I'm not worth your McDonald's money. I'm not worth your Red Lobster money. I ain't worth your St. John knit y'all can afford know-how. I ain't worth your Louis Vuitton. I ain't worth your Prada. I ain't not worth your Gucci. And and y'all know I asked you for 1 year. Here's all the way in August, and I ain't got it. Y'all ain't said nothing. Let me kick down the door and talk to my cheap sons and daughters. This would have been the last day of his church, one TikTok commenter wrote. Now, I think the apology kind of just sets this whole mood right.
So how do you apologize for that? Let's hear it. The place where the rivers gather. Come on, what do you got?
You gave your money to this. to this guy and his wife.
My name is Carlton Funderburg. I'm the senior pastor of Church of the Well, right here in Kansas City, Missouri. I want to take this moment to address the now viral video clip of me from a sermon given August the 7th, 2022.
Read it.
Though there is context behind the content of the clip,
Read it.
no context will suffice to explain the hurt and anguish caused by my words.
You don't believe that?
I've spoken to those I am accountable to and
Not
have
at all.
received their correction and instruction.
No accountability.
I have also privately apologized to our church, who has extended their love and support to me.
No,
you
they
did
haven't.
not, and no, they
They
did.
did not.
The video clip does not reflect my heart
Yes, it does.
or my sentiments toward
100%.
God's people,
It does.
yet that's not discernible in the clip.
Yes,
Thank
it
you.
is.
Therefore, I
Thank you for
offer
being
this
honest.
sincere apology to you today. No context could erase the words I used. I apologize to all who have been hurt, angered, or in any way damaged by my words. The zeal of any presentation must be tempered with love and respect, and that was not displayed. I apologize to the church at large for any undue scrutiny I have subjected you to. I apologize to every preacher and pastor who must stand up under the controversy that I have caused.
I've called out all my other con men and
Those
con
who
sisters.
know and love me, thank you for your support. To those who now know me, because of this video clip, I regret that your first impression of me is one of anger, hate, and resentment. My actions and my words are inexcusable. I offer no justification or defense. That moment was mishandled and mismanaged. I deeply regret this moment, and I solicit your prayers and your forgiveness.
He's saying
as we
amen.
go forward.
Over under 50. Does he say amen?
He definitely does.
Go with God, and he'll go with you.
No,
No, he doesn't. No, amen. What?
I'm
That's the most shocking part of the whole thing.
I'm offended. You didn't finish your job, sir. You didn't say amen.
Carlton Funderburg.
What the fucking amateurs? He's a fucking amateur. That dude's raking. If you had the balls to call your people out for not buying you a Movado watch, I don't know how much those cost, but I'm thinking at least like 10, right? Then 10K?
Oh, yeah. I would
No
think.
way,
I'm a
man.
watch
It's the
guy.
most offensive thing. That's just like, we've never had a reaction like that on Topic Thunder before. There's no amen.
Yeah, I've said that before, by the way. People that are into watches, I don't get it. You're weird. I think there's something wrong with you. Like, you have a watch right here on your phone. Why do you need a watch on your wrist? Fancy watch. I don't know. I have a watch on I have a Apple Watch, but it's only because I can look at my text messages and not take my phone out of my pocket. It's literally the only reason I have it.
Yeah. I like keeping my steps in line. I like check, but yeah, just like in a quick, and if you're in a meeting, you could just like quick, like,
Correct.
Does it need my attention?
Correct.
No.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But okay, all right. I'm glad we can agree that the no amen is
shocking.
That's
That's how you know that guy's a shyster. You know he's a shyster because any good pastor knows you end everything with a good, solid amen.
That's why they didn't get you the watch, brother. Just the bottom line, man. You got them so close, but you didn't get them that close. But hey, all right. Let's pivot again and talk about some nature shit, right? Because this is cool. This is not cool.
When nature fucks you up.
Wow, this is insane because this dude survived an alligator clamping onto his skull and lived to talk about it and talk, like literally talk about it. It's hard to say what's more incredible, that JC Defeats was bitten in the head by an alligator and survived, or that the brutal attack was caught on camera 2 weeks after the branded man is out of the hospital but has a long recovery ahead of him. He goes on to talk about there was a drone recording. There's actually video of when it happened.
Oh, I have seen this. Yes.
Good evening. I'm Allie Corey.
Get up, Mark Wilson. Glad to have you.
the echo.
It's going to do the echo. Hold on. Give
Yeah.
me 2 seconds, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Hold on.
Yeah. So
Hold
the
on. I'm going to do it right.
drone is filming above as JC starts to swim. In the footage, an
With this
estimated.
first step here at 10 o'clock, pretty
But
No, go for it. They might do a better job. They're
remarkable story.
professional.
Not many people
Look
have
at
come
this!
face to face with a gator, and
Ah!
but he did.
Ah!
Gator attack at Lake Thonotosassa last week. Tonight, he's sharing his
Ah!
story with us. He hopes to inspire others with his faith
Hold
and
on.
determination at Lake Thonotosassa of that violent gator
Watch this again.
live. But
Oh.
people have come face
Look
to
at
face with a gator and survived.
Your gator food.
The jaws of the gator came down on his head and upper torso. The attack lasted only seconds, but JC tells us the entire time he knew he would make it out alive. Quote,
Shut up.
an unbelievable amount of faith in myself that I wasn't going to die, he recalled. I was going to be okay, but I needed to act for sure. It could have been luck or instinct, maybe higher intervention, but JC said he put his hands in the alligator's mouth, feeling the teeth struggling and rolling in the water. She let go. She let go.
Sorry.
No, go for it. I'm ready for it. She let go. And she didn't have to, said JC. He immediately started swimming for the nearby dock. Once out of the water, the adrenaline wore off and the intense pain hit. JC was losing a lot of blood. Neighbors called for help, and he was rushed to Tampa General with trauma alert. I think one of the best like sense of humor, like ha ha he is the picture of him, like kind of like a before and after. There's a lovely picture below the video of I guess him with a lovely young lady, and then him in his ICU bed with a ha ha he balloon. But yeah, Steve Irwin like literally stepped in and said, "No, tonight, yeah," and saved that dude. But like, I like it.
Let me show that picture because it is kind of interesting.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of neat. Like that dude has a sense of humor. Like you have to. You look at the. You have to. If you're not like,
you swam headlong into a fucking alligator. Like. If you can't have a sense of humor about it, Jesus.
And thought and had the sense to like, I'm just gonna try to do something, and the alligator was probably tickled. It's like,
yeah, like and to get out of it alive.
You would think that might be the Ellie, and then you might think that this might be the Ellie. But ladies and gentlemen, this is like the 2.5 kick up. We're not even there yet.
We are right near the end. We're about to hit the go home.
But I know we've talked a lot about space, and it's one of my little pet things. It's that actually the last. This is the only space story. So I cut a few out. But
I think we're gonna need some music for space stories too. If anybody's got any ideas for what I can use for.
Actually, I do. I have
yeah?
one. I actually do. It's a really cheesy take on like the old Star Trek theme. So hold on, I'll send it to you later. In show meeting. We've talked about space being a vacuum, and you would think that there's no the reason we hear things is because sound waves are bouncing off particles, and that's why we're able to hear them, because otherwise they would just go nowhere. And since there's nothing in space, really, it's a quote unquote vacuum, not perfect, but damn near close enough. We'd assume that there was no sound. Now, Gigi swears that I've played this for her before. I don't recall that, and I certainly don't have this website saved. So I thought it was really interesting that this is from NASA. At NASA Exoplanets, it's verified, and it's NASA. They have put together the data for what what a galaxy cluster looks like, because they've amplified the actual sound. So is this the sound of a galaxy, or is this a tool segue?
So this is sound from space, they say.
Yes.
It sounds like a motor. Huh.
Though acoustic signals generated by the black hole were first identified in 2013 in data from NASA's Chandra X-ray Observatory, they have never been brought to the hearing range of the
there you
human
go.
ear.
Angela's right there. It does sound like sound you would hear deep in the ocean, like some sort of, guttural, I don't know. Yeah, some weird sound that you hear at the bottom of the ocean.
Bottom of the ocean. Oh, you might be onto something, because what would be at the bottom of the ocean, Ben?
Terrifying nonsense is what would be at the bottom of the ocean.
You're not talking about this recently discovered sea bug that can grow up to 1.5 feet and can eat an entire alligator corpse in 51 days.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
The Topic Thunder Ellie extinction level event. We have now crossed into a known species that will devour corpses and basically keep the bottom of the ocean clean until there's nothing left to eat and they come to find us. These creatures look like something you may see in Men in Black, but believe it or not, you can find them down on Earth in the deep sea. A group of researchers recently discovered a new species of giant sea bugs that live down at the bottom of the ocean. These sea bugs are actually isopods, known as something I'm not going to try to pronounce right now. Like other isopods, they often are considered insects, although they don't quite fit into the category. These isopods became well known during observations in a 2019 viral video of them eating an alligator in the first ever deep sea alligator food fall.
Holy shit.
The researchers in the above video state that the alligator was placed on the seafloor, and less than 24 hours later, the sea bugs emerged to feast. Those aren't even the sea bugs yet. Now researchers are studying the sea bugs more in depth. A new study published in the journal Natural History in August looked into the species I'm not going to pronounce and their detailed behavior, with the researchers stating that these isopods don't appear to hunt their prey and behave more like scavengers of food, so they aren't anything to fear. Bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit. Have you seen those things? Look at them.
Bullshit.
This is why I never, ever, ever want to be in deep water, ever.
In the study, researchers say that the creatures search for leftover corpses of sea creatures and any other food they can easily get access to. The most notable thing about them is that they can eat an entire alligator corpse in just 51 days. The study also goes into detail about where these creatures are found. They are most commonly found in tropical temperate areas, deep ocean. That's too close. If you're going to tell me temperate waters in the deep ocean, that's too close. It better be freezing fucking cold down there, and these things have no shot.
Someplace that I'm definitely never going to go.
These sea bugs can grow up to 1.5 feet long from the head to the tail. And because of the whitish color, the researchers say that when they are in the ocean, they look like giant pieces of floating rice. That doesn't look like any piece of rice I've ever had, ever. And I've eaten
nor do
some
I ever
really
want to encounter
questionable places that serve rice.
It looks like those roly-polies when we were kids. You know, the roly-poly bugs. It looks like that, but fucking 1.5 feet long and eating an alligator.
For now.
Until they keep growing.
For now.
Until they're tired of
Hey guys,
corpses.
Any more
on the
corpses?
fucking ocean floor.
No? All right.
Nope.
Make your
All
way
right, we're
that way.
gonna have to come to the service and make some corpses.
Look, some of you aren't going to make it, but eventually generations behind you are going to be able to breathe on land, and the world is ours, gentlemen. All right.
Giant isopods are gonna fucking take over the world.
Let me ask you something.
This always goes
Let
well.
me ask you something.
Okay. Please
Have
do.
Do you ever recall being back in high school and remember when there was a fight and how everybody just kind of like formed a crowd, whether you were invested in it or not? You were like,
Yeah, you're at least looking to see if something bad happens. Yeah, if somebody gets knocked out.
let me point your peepers in the direction of Australia, as we have captured one of the greatest fight scenes to ever have been put on any form of media ever. And ladies and gentlemen, I just that
Getting after it. Look at this.
he jumped after him. Wait.
Oh, he flipped him. Monkey flip. They're locking up. Backs him into the ropes.
Takes up.
Let's watch that one more time.
Watch the jump. Watch the kangaroo on the table jump up and like flying punch. Where's that hat? Like this is happening. This has to be
Are they fighting in a saloon?
somebody's there. Somebody's filming this. You're close enough to film it. That's that dude's hat.
Yeah, people were sitting at that table when this thing all broke out.
I gotta talk to you about Matilda. Fuck you, dude. Matilda's fine. No, she's fine.
Oh my God.
Fuck you, Roger. Go to hell, Steve.
Oh, and then it turns into a legitimate wrestling match.
Like for real.
Backs him into the corner.
Right.
Backs
right.
him into the corner. Nope.
Monkey
flip.
Boom.
Lock up.
Uh-huh.
Back him into the corner.
And now the guy got monkey flip, backs him into the
Back him into
corner.
the rope.
Yep. Rolling around.
Oh my God, unbelievable. I haven't laughed that hard in a minute.
Oh yeah. So we usually like to end this kind of before we transition to and fully seal that sphere that becomes the Thunderdome in anticipation of the world's greatest podcast segment that my dad's never seen. We usually do like kind of like a cute thing, right?
Kind of, yeah. This is kind of along those lines, but in and out.
I think last week we did Fritz the hippo, the baby hippo, and that's cool.
Yeah.
We've done some other really sloth stuff, but that video we're not gonna take nothing's taking the cake from that last video we just saw, except the still picture that I have to show you of this disoriented bear from Turkey who got high on what they call mad honey. And apparently this special honey at certain doses has hallucinogenic effects. And as you can tell by our bear friend, he is clearly showing.
You know what? There was a party I once attended on mushrooms that I looked exactly like that, sitting outside drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon, trying to get myself coherent.
Yeah, high on mad honey. Oh boy, haven't we been there once or twice.
And by the way, I suddenly am very interested in mad honey.
Hold on, they actually explain it. This is baby brown bear lay in a brush-filled ground of a national park in Turkey on August 15. Mad honey.
Brush Bash 2022 featuring Mad Honey.
The bear sat in odd positions, partially slumped over. Disoriented photos shared on Twitter by Turkey's Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry showed park rangers put the bear into the back of their pickup truck, where she wobbled around looking confused, sat dazed, and sprawled out. The bear was exhausted after consuming the lunch toast, the ministry said. Mad honey.
It's probably been tripping its balls off for hours.
You had a bear alive.
He's so perfect English reception.
Oh, I'm losing it. Mad honey. I'm legitimately crying. This is great. All the sad shit we've ever covered on this show, and it took a bear tripping balls to get us to cry.
Oh my God.
Mad honey, known as deli ba in Turkish, she'll have to correct my Turkish, Gigi will, is the type of honey that comes from a specific species of flowers, according to ZME Science. The nectar of these flowers has a neurotoxin that acts like a drug when consumed. In small amounts, mad honey can cause hallucinations and a high buzz, the outlet reported. In overdose amounts, the honey causes vomiting, diarrhea, loss of consciousness, and other illnesses, the agency reported.
But you won't die?
if it didn't kill a bear, I'm in.
Right? If it didn't kill the bear, I want to fucking try it. So I'm in on some Mad Honey. If anybody wants to hook me up,
I think we have to make a road trip for that. But I don't know if we got
let's
Mad
go to
Honey
Turkey.
here.
I've never wanted to go to Turkey, but now I do.
That kills a bunch of stones because that's one of Gigi's places to go. She wants to go to the Phosphorus. It's a river right there. It's a beautiful old city, or at least Istanbul is. So yeah, old world. So you feel really small when you. All right, I'm spoiling it.
You know where I want to go, Brooks?
Where do you want to go, Ben? Oh, of course! All paths lead to the Thunderdome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Lightning Round. #1 segment on the #1 podcast that my father has yet to even listen to on his own. But kudos to him. He has proxy voted lightning bolts in the world's most dangerous chat room. And what is that, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Thunderdome, which is controlled by you, the people, as Bane would say. What is the lightning round, you may ask yourselves, on Twitch, on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching us. It's quite simple. 3 stories enter the Thunderdome. 1 gets read, and it's you, the people.
Sometimes two get read. Most of the time.
If you're really good and you leave cookies
really
and milk out for your...
everyone behaves.
Everybody's cool. We might do too. We try not to... We refrain from doing 2 because it's a democracy. There can only be one winner. It's chosen by you, the people.
I will say I did get a message from him. Ryan Hansen was unable to join us tonight, so he won't be able to give us his headlines. He will be joining us posthumously. Is that how you say that? Posthumously?
That would be after
he's dead.
Somebody's dead. All right. Okay. I like where this is going already.
Maybe that's not the right word for that.
We recently watched the Batman '89, and it really kind of like everything. Like Jack Nicholson, that was a kind of a dark. You weren't like when you're like looking at it with adult eyes, like that's some twisted shit. He was into some. It's like everybody's gonna die. This is good stuff. Whatever, right? Little Tracy Smothers there for you. But you didn't come here for that. You came here for these headlines, which I haven't even gone through the trouble of opening up the folder yet. But that happens really quick because, ladies and gentlemen, I have been dillying and dallying, and we don't do that around here. So, headline #1. USA Mullet Championships. Wisconsin teen and boy win first prize in separate divisions.
I saw pictures from this. It's amazing.
Headline #2, seal breaks into New Zealand home, traumatizes cat, and hangs out on couch. And headline #3, couple arrested at Cedar Point for having sex on the Ferris wheel.
I know that was a Ryan Hansen. I believe it was a Ryan Hansen contribution.
That is a Ryan Hansen contribution. We will miss his remix. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
First vote is in. There is a 45-second or so delay, so we like to at least repeat once, just in case you were dillying and or dallying
like I was.
during the first reading. But now there's 2 votes for headline #1. Angelo making his first vote that I'm aware of in the lightning round.
And all right, let me as your
#2.
Yeah, contabulating. So. Here it is. One more time, the headlines for the lightning round. USA Mullet Championships. Wisconsin teen and boy win first prize in separate divisions. Headline #2, seal breaks into New Zealand home. Not the singer, the animal. Traumatizes.
It would have been better if it was
It would have been. I don't know why I left it like that. But it traumatizes cat and hangs out on their couch. And headline #3, couple arrested at Cedar Point for having sex on the Ferris wheel.
Could you imagine? He breaks into some New Zealander's house,
fucks with the cat, and he's like just asleep on the couch, like just drool. He put on like the Home Shopping Network. Is that even a thing? And just like fell asleep. He's Netflixing Beauty and the Beast or some shit like that. I don't know.
Adrian is voting for #2 as well.
Oh, we're getting #2 is really pushing ahead here. 1, 2, 3. That's a seal of approval from Billy Wack. Thank you very much.
Seal of approval.
Hey,
Hey-o.
hi-o.
This is definitely gonna get us booted.
Oh, Biz, not to be on.
Let me mull it over.
Oh, it's a war.
Everybody's
of words.
picking up the slack. Everybody's picking up the slack for Ryan Hansen today. I love
You know what it is.
Leave it to the fucking Thunderdome, man.
Ryan Hansen in the house. Great episode.
Late, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies
Oh,
and
hold on,
gentlemen.
let me get it up on the screen. Mullet Man makes the cut, seals the deal, and pleasure wheels.
Oh, this
Oh
is
my God.
great. All right, this is. You know why? You know what it is? It's when you have kangaroos fighting, it brings the people together.
Kangaroos, disoriented bears, fucking giant isopods that eat alligators. We've been all over the place. Spiders sleeping, fucking car bombs. We've been all over the place.
That is a hell of an entrance. The
What
man-
is an entrance?
Yep.
Yeah, how about it? Amazing.
Amazing.
All right, so
I think,
where are we at here? I kind of lost track.
So I think
The seal
Von
seems to be
Jordan
running
voted.
away with it.
I think Ryan Hansen, we need your vote.
Yeah, we just need a vote from Ryan Hansen to just put it over the top here.
And I haven't seen Gigi vote either.
Oh yeah, that's right. No Gigi vote either. Did she get lost?
Oh man, I'm probably missing a phone call or two then at this point.
Number 2, he's going with the seal as well. Ryan Hansen is going to go with the seal, number 2.
Okay.
I think that's going to wrap it up. I think we're going to find out about how a seal, kangaroos, sea bugs, and bears. Oh my! That if we had a show name, that would be what this is.
I think even if Gigi made a vote, it wouldn't matter at this point. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen, your winner for this episode of Topic Thunder. A seal breaks into a New Zealand home, traumatizes cat, and hangs out on the couch. A curious young seal has been returned to the sea after breaking into a New Zealand home, harassing the resident cat, and hanging out in a hallway for about a couple of hours while children slept upstairs and miraculously not ruining anything. The story gets better. The Ross family of Monaguni were more than a little surprised to find a New Zealand fur seal in their home, which is about 150 meters from the shore Wednesday morning. Phil Ross, who happens to be a marine biologist, said it was unfortunate he was the only one not at home at the time. This is from Phil. The big joke is that this is really the only family emergency where it would have been useful to have a marine biologist in the house. I really missed my time to shine. Ross, said his wife, Jen, rose just before 6 a.m. on Wednesday to go to the gym. As she got in the car, something barked from underneath and shuffled away. She thought it was somebody's dog and really didn't pay much attention to it. She returned at 7 a.m., opened the door, and found a cute little seal. This is from Jen. I got a little bit of a fright, and it humped its way down the hallway into the spare room. That is not. That is a.
That's
gross
not New
mis-
Zealand.
That is
That is-
not.
That's like a Cockney UK accent.
That is not what Jen sounds like.
That is not at all.
Sorry, Jen. It's the internet, Jen. Ross said the seal had managed to make its way through 2 cat flaps to get into the home. He believes that it encountered the family's territorial cat, Coco, outside just after Jen left the property, and it had likely been inside for an hour. The cat, this is a quote, the cat would have gone to defend its territory, and obviously the seal wasn't intimidated as some dogs are, so Coco must have bolted around the side of the house into the cat flap, and the seal must have followed her. Jen woke the 2 children, Noah and Ari, to come see their new pet. They thought it was cool and pretty exciting. They are totally oblivious to the fact that not many of their mates would have seals come to visit them in their houses. They named it Oscar, and Oscar, again, was returned to the sea.
There is video.
Look at Oscar.
Just hanging out. Hey, lady. I was just in here hanging out, watching some TV.
Hey, you got a nice house
Hey.
here.
Yeah.
I like
Yep.
it.
You want to play some ping pong? I bet I could. I bet I could.
But if that thing started coming at you like that, you'd be like, "What? Well, okay." You know, in
I don't
room
know.
night or
I
get
don't
you.
know. I
get you
feel
9
like I
out of
could
10.
take it. There's nothing that seal that size could do to me. I feel like I could defend myself.
I don't know, man. I just assume with wild animals, there's an unknown. But let's also consider Coco and what she went through. There's a picture of Coco.
He was looking for special honey.
And just look at it. He's like, "This is great, guys. Nice lighting.
Hey guys.
You could use maybe
is
need
cool.
some new carpeting
This
on the
is
stairs."
This whole indoors thing could really work out for me.
You know, he was looking for some special honey. There it is, right? He's like, "Hey, man, my friend the bear was here, and
Yeah, exactly. What is a seal? Are you some kind of dogfish? Of course, it comes from the fucking sea, right?
they're a mammal, so they breathe air. So they're literally holding their breath when they dive into the water. Yeah, like that, like the platypus. Like go figure that. It's like
Well,
a
what are
mammal
you
that lays
doing?
eggs.
Pick what you are already.
Or like we need to study that. Like we need to.
How does a dog have fins like that? I don't get it.
We like to bring you these things for these exact moments to have these conversations on this show. Humbly call.
So good. Man,
Topic Thunder. This was all time. Not only did we get in a lot of shit, but we're like 10 minutes early to the end. So this is actually like all time. Man,
It's a short week too. We were working on a short week too. So
Short week. But yeah, this is the effort you get on Topic Thunder. So ladies and gentlemen, thanks for
But
joining.
let's tease it again. We teased this last week during the close. I'll tease
yeah.
it this week.
Yeah.
This is just a taste of some of the changes, the evolution, the 46 and 2, if you will, of Topic Thunder as we shed our skin and become something maybe a little bit different. Things have gotten a little heavy around here for a while, and I think we both agree it's time to turn things a little for the funny end.
The world needs us to do something different, Ben, and we're going to listen. So, as we always do, thank you for listening to our insane ramblings. We had a lot of fun tonight, and thanks for the world's most dangerous chat in the world's most dangerous chat room. That's you, the Thunderdome. Thanks for you from the